Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Tinfoil Hat Club, the only show on the internet whose sole purpose is to piss you off. To piss you off at local government, to piss you off at state government, to piss you off at the federal government, to piss you off at all of them to the point you will get off your butts and take action. So hang around, folks, because here we go. Well, folks, today's another day, and here's another edition of the Tinfoil Hat Club. We're going to keep it pretty short and sweet today. I'm going to show y'all what a sellout traitor looks like, sounds like. Gun control legislation, and that's what it is. It's gun control legislation. It's not gun safety legislation. It's gun control legislation. It's gun confiscation legislation. Comes up before the Senate tomorrow. And 13 loyal, patriotic senators have signed a letter in support of the filibuster that Rand Paul and Ted Cruz and some other constitutional-minded senators have planned for it.
13 conservative senators sent a letter to Senate Leader Harry Reid vowing to filibuster any legislation that would, quote, infringe on the American people's constitutional right to bear arms.
My senators haven't signed the letter. My senators, Senator Saxby-Chambliss and Johnny Isakson, haven't signed the letter. Saxby-Chambliss doesn't have to worry about paying a price for being a traitor to the Constitution. He's quitting. Thank God. Senator Isakson, on the other hand, is not quitting. Or at least he hadn't announced it yet. I'll throw a party when he does. Senator Isakson was asked by CBS in an interview what he intended to do on the gun control, gun confiscation legislation that'll be coming up tomorrow. Let's hear what Senator Isakson had to say.
Well, I'll speak for myself.
Whoa. Let's hear that again.
Well, I'll speak for myself.
Whoa, stop tape. Johnny, we don't care what you think. We don't care whether you're for or against something. You're not sent there to take care of Johnny, although you've done a real good job of it over the years. You're sent there to take care of two things, and neither one of them's named Johnny Isakson. You're sent there to take care of the citizens of the state of Georgia who put your sorry, worthless butt in office. And you're sent there to take care of the Constitution. You know, that document that you swore an oath of office to defend. The document that you shred just as bad as Obama with practically every waking breath. That's what you were sent there to do. Okay, start the tape back up. Let's see what he has to say.
Well, I'll speak for myself on that question. There was no ambivalence on the gun issue. I think everybody knows what the issues are. We have not seen the final draft of the legislation that was produced, I understand, last night, but I think it deserves a vote up or down.
Oh, I see, Johnny. You think it ought to have an up or down vote, and you know, that's the Democratic way. We're not a democracy. We're a democratic republic, and we've got a constitution. But you think it ought to have an up or down vote. Let's play nice with the Democrats. Of course, every time the Republicans play nice with the Democrats, they get screwed. Democrats play hardball. Republicans play like they're standing around at a cocktail party. Of course, Senator Isakson wouldn't be a Republican if the Republicans hadn't taken over the Georgia legislature several years back. If it was still controlled by Democrats, he'd be a Democrat. He sticks his finger up in the air to see which way the wind blows, and it just blows him right along like a tumbleweed. Senator Isakson, if you do not support the filibuster, there's two things I got to say. Number one, you don't support the Constitution. There is not a damn thing that Senator Reid will allow to come to the floor that is constitutional, and you know it. If it comes to the floor, it'll be unconstitutional, guaranteed. You don't give a damn. That's the first thing you need to know about whether or not you support the filibuster. Second thing you need to know is, if you don't get on board with the filibuster, if you don't get on board with stopping the Senate from ramming unconstitutional gun control down our throats, if you don't get on board with understanding what the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, if you don't get on board with that stuff, let me tell you something, Mr. Isakson. You need to polish up your resume, and you need to follow your brother Chambliss into resigning and not standing for office next time, because you will get your ass kicked out of the Senate by the citizens of the state of Georgia. We're tired of it. We woke up back in 2010. Your turn's coming. You're going to be unemployed if you don't get your butt together. Folks, I'm talking about two senators from Georgia, and people listen to this podcast all over the country. Let me tell you something. You better check your own senators, because my two sorry, worthless pieces of garbage are not the only Republicans that are only pretending to be Republicans that will capitulate to the Democrats at the drop of a hat. I got two sorry, worthless pieces of garbage as my senators. There's a lot of y'all out there that have Republican senators. You got worthless pieces of garbage too. You better check on their bona fides. There's some around here that believe in the Constitution. Rand Paul does. Ted Cruz does. Mitch McConnell does if it's convenient. But there's some that couldn't care less about the Constitution. Actually, there's some, and I include you, Johnny Isakson, there are some who look at the Constitution the exact same way Barack Obama does. It's an impediment to the power, to exercising the power they would like to. Most Republicans in the Senate, folks, most Republicans are only gonna, when they do something right, it's only because you force them to. Most Republicans in the Senate are just as progressive left, are just as anti-freedom, are just as anti-rights, are just as anti-Constitution, are just as anti-Bill of Rights as any Democrat, as Barack Obama, or any of his sycophants. You better start watching your senators, because most of y'all that have Republican senators have the same garbage for the senator that I do, just a different name. Well, that's about it for today, folks. Remember, same thing I tell y'all every time we talk. Every time you come in contact with a government employee, local, state, federal, doesn't matter. If they draw a federal paycheck, you need to have this little discussion with them, and at the end of the discussion, you get hold of their hand real tight. Don't let them get away till they hear what you have to say. You shake hands with them, get hold of their hand real tight, and you tell them, we don't work for you. You work for us. And then just in case they're hard of hearing, like my senators here in this state are, that they're real hard of hearing. They hadn't heard the citizens of the state of Georgia in years. You tell them again, we don't work for you. You work for us. So y'all have a good day. Have a good rest of the week and weekend. And I reckon I'll see y'all later. And remember, y'all come back now. You hear?